Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Very special guest, old friend Dan Farr, head of Dan Farr Productions and the man, the myth, the legend behind FanX Salt Lake, our local convention. How have you been doing, Dan?
Doing great. It's a different world we live in today, but it's nice to see it getting back more normal. Wow, it's been a crazy year, hasn't it?
It has. I know you have an office and you occasionally go there.
Yeah.
I just on a personal note, I actually started teleworking the day before the earthquake. So I've been home since the day before the earthquake. I'm so ready to go back to my office. It's not even funny. And I just have a cubicle.
Yeah.
So, I've never thought I'd miss a cubicle before. How have you been occupying your time for the
Oh
last
boy.
year?
Yeah, there's first of all, there is still some show business, show event business,
Right.
not like your show business. I realize that has a different connotation, but yeah, the event business stuff that we've been working on still. But personally, it just seems like there's so many projects that I wanted to do around the house or in the yard or whatever it may be that I've finally been able to get around to. If you look over here, I see there's a piano that
Yeah.
I've tried to teach myself to play the piano a little bit. I I've got fish tanks that I've been setting up some new fish tanks and trying to breed goldfish.
Oh
I don't know,
man.
just kind of fun stuff like that. I tend to be a nerd when it comes to when I get into something, I just go all in, and I just I go kind of crazy with things, and so yeah, so I've just picked up those hobbies. I've uh, enjoyed just being at home with the family, watched a lot of the Netflix series that we need to watch in our industry here to kind of know what's going on. So I've tried to be current in that stuff. So yeah, definitely a lot of stuff to do. I've never been bored. I've
Well,
never
that's
been around, like, yeah, what am I going to do next? That's never happened.
that's good. So you've been watching a lot of stuff. What one thing did you watch this year? Maybe that you were like, oh, I'm really not just for research, but like I'm really glad I watched that.
Well, I honestly, I enjoy all of it. So it's not like I feel bad that, like, oh, what, because I won't watch something for research if I don't enjoy it. So I
Right.
mean, it has to be enjoyable. It's not like I have a real high threshold where things just have to be amazing for me to enjoy. But I'll say this is WandaVision really impressed me with how it it took a new approach to things. When you're watching the first couple episodes, you're scratching your head, and you want to get online and see what people are saying about it. And some
Right.
people that have a little more knowledge on the background on the comics and things that kind of would give you a little bit of a heads up of what's going on. But that was fun. I enjoyed that. Looking forward to Loki coming out. That's going to be fun. Looking forward to um, the Hawkeye and
Oh, Hawkeye's coming out. Falcon and Winter Soldier came out today.
Falcon. Yeah, that's what I want to see is Falcon the Winter Soldier. Yeah, looking forward to that. And so there's just a lot of great things I've enjoyed. I mean, it, you kind of feel, for me, I've always been kind of raised that, when you're spending time watching TV, you're not doing what you should be doing. You know what I mean?
Not you're not
You
gainfully employed.
exactly. You need to be outside and you need to do this, that. So for me, it's always been hard to just feel justified in doing it. So it's nice to have a reason to feel like hey, I'm justified to sit down and binge watch Cobra Kai, and I don't need to go to bed. I'll just stay up all night and watch it or whatever. So
That's great. FanX in the past has done FanX screenings. Is that something you want to get back to, where you'll host whatever the big geeky movie is around an event?
We definitely miss that. Yeah, yeah, we want to do some of those again for sure. When we can get people back to theaters in large groups, we'd like to do that. I think it might be trickier to do it with the smaller capacity of the theaters, but when it gets where we can get everybody back together again, we'd love to do it.
That's excellent. Have you had your vaccine yet?
You know what? I found out Tuesday that I did, and that's going to sound funny that I just found out. I actually, in December, I joined the AstraZeneca study.
Oh,
So I had a 2/3 chance that I got the vaccine, and it would have been in December because they did both of them then. So if actually no, December and January. So I thought I did. I had it, but I had my arm was sore for 4 days, which
yeah.
that usually doesn't happen. And the second vaccine, I did feel a little bit achy in the morning when I got up, but I took like 3 Advil, and then I didn't really think anything more of it.
Nice.
So I did that, but found out on Tuesday that because I basically they unblinded me because
Right.
I was eligible to go get the vaccine, and so once I was eligible, they unblinded me so I could know if I needed to go get it or if they had given it to me, and they
Yep.
had.
That's
So
excellent.
so I'm good. Long story around that, but I
No, that's
wanted
excellent.
to,
That's
yeah, I wanted to
surprise.
tell it. Why not, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great year you spent there then. Let's talk about FanX specifically now. How goes in general? I'm not going to ask for any spoilers. How in general, how goes the planning? Are you planning for a full bore event? Are you planning? Do you have like tiers of, okay, if we're here, we're going to do this. If we're here, we're going to do this. How is it going, and how are you approaching it?
We're planning full capacity. We have not been, there's been no indications that we are not going to be allowed to be at full capacity. All indications are that we should be able to. Obviously, it helps when the governor says that 4th of July weekend, everything should be back to normal by then, which
It
is
does
nice.
help.
He's a little ahead of the president. The president's saying 4th of July weekend, people should be able to gather together as small family groups.
Right.
Um, but but I know that Utah, we've been kind of ahead of the curve in so many areas with this, and now with the vaccines being opened up to everybody next week,
That's
um,
fabulous.
yeah, that's clearly an indication about the speed that it's getting out there, and
Yeah.
people are taking advantage of it. People are getting the vaccines. I'll tell you, even though I didn't know for sure that I had the vaccine, I had it, in my mind, even, it was 2/3 chance that I had it. Well, because I had the sore arm and the achiness the second day, I was in the 80 to 90 percentile thinking that I had it, that I had the vaccine. So it changed I was much less worried about
Mhm.
things. I'm still careful and I still wear a mask, more out of courtesy for other people too. But I think, once people start getting the vaccine, the feeling around it's going to change significantly. People are going to feel like opening up. So if there's
This,
people that are very cautious and don't feel comfortable going out, you're going to feel a lot better once you get the vaccine, and once it's had a chance to take an effect.
right.
Obviously, it's going to take a little time before everybody's had the second shot, and then I think it's a couple weeks after that, and then they say it's all good. But it helps. But also knowing that other people around have the vaccine, it's it you know it's a different feeling.
It,
And
I think it will be. We're a family. It's going to be a family gathering, the
yes,
big FanX family. So you're pretty comfortable then saying that this is going to happen.
yes,
If
I
you were
am.
going to put odds, you'd be at 99 plus.
Well, I'm always, I would say before COVID, I would be at a 95% plus, just
Right.
because there's always that 5% that there could be something that happens that
Right.
changes it. So I mean, I'm almost to the level as I would have been before. So whatever that kind of cautiously optimistic part of me that always tries to be pragmatic and say, well, there could be, an earthquake or
Because
too much
that's never
rain.
happened.
Yeah, exactly. Or too much rain, which we'd love, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah.
Um,
Who knows what it could be, but yeah.
yeah. How again, I'm not going to ask for spoilers. You don't have to tell me
Yeah.
anything.
Sure.
In general, obviously, we've already had some announcements. We've got some voice actors. We got some folks from Cobra Kai. In general, how are the celebrities or their handlers? How are they feeling about even discussing at this point a September event? Are they
Yeah.
where are they at?
Surprisingly, they're very anxious to get out there. You've got, I just got, I'll say this is, I got a call in between my last interview and talking to you that kind of held me back a little bit. So, in order to get on the call here, from an agent I've never spoken to before who has a lot of just fun, interesting, nostalgia talent. And, so these are people, they're older. He says, yeah, all my clients have had their shots, the
Right.
vaccination. I said, we're going to have to start wearing a collar with a, dog chain, that
I know, rabies tag.
rabies tag. Yeah. And so, anyway, so he says all his clients ready to go. And so that, that's a real positive indication. Now, we don't know if, like, let's say a Tom Holland is in the middle of a production, will the producers allow him to take a day off to go meet, 2,000 fans? That's a question that's still to be seen. But the reality is generally if these A-list, Avenger type celebrities, if they're in the middle of a production, they're not going to get out anyway.
Right.
So it really just depends on if they're not in a production. I would imagine we're going to see some people like that would be willing to come to the event. They're going to be less skittish by that time.
That's good. At least they're not like, no, we're not there till they're not saying no, 2021 is a wash,
Yeah. No.
which is nice. Um, let's let's end on a weird question. Recently, there's another event in this region of the country that happens across the mountains in Denver.
Yes.
Denver just recently announced that they they partnered with or been bought out for, however cynical you want to be,
Yeah.
by the Fan Expo organization, who does Fan Expo Canada and Fan Expo Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas, by the way, is a great event.
Yes,
I
it
have
is.
people in Dallas, so I like to go down there anyway.
Yeah, I think I've seen
But
you there, haven't I?
yeah,
Yeah.
there in Phoenix and yeah, a couple other places.
Yeah.
But no, so they're a good organization. Now I remember way back to the first time I got to ask you questions. It was over email, and when you were building FanX in the first place, I asked about Wizard and Fan Expo and everything else, and had you ever considered partnering up that way
Yeah.
at that time?
Uh-huh.
With a year and a half off, or pushing 2 years of events in general, uh, because of COVID and all the other, just normal business considerations. Is FanX still FanX? Is there, is Fan Expo out there going, we'd really like to have both sides of the mountain?
Oh,
Or are we still looking at FanX being a Salt Lake? Everyone comes to Salt Lake and it's a Salt Lake thing.
well, I'll tell you, we're not opposed to looking at something like that down the road. Um, it's not, and I'm really, I'm good friends with the people that run that. So in fact, Amon, who is the head of that, the whole Fan Expo group, he came out to our show, the last show we had, and he loved it. He just, he walked around, he was very impressed with it, and so yeah, so he definitely is a good friend of the show, and we stay friendly, and we also a lot of times we'll share guests too. We'll like, okay, this happened with Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill was on his way to Fan Expo in Toronto, and we're like, hey, we'd like him too, and we worked with the agent, and that was really the reason it all worked out is because he came by Salt Lake first, and then he went on to Toronto that weekend. So yeah.
I remember this house was lucky enough to get a photo with him on
Oh,
that day.
nice. Yeah,
And as a quick aside, you'll be up against Fan Expo Dallas this year.
we are. Yeah,
But they're
with
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, we get that
yeah.
odd Thursday.
We do, and there's some guests that we're talking about splitting, let's say possibly there may be a Doctor Who that visits, well, that is already scheduled for our show, just not announced. We haven't announced a Doctor Who guest who could be a doctor or companion is the hint I love to give.
Right.
So it narrows it down to nothing, not very much. Yeah. But yeah, the possibility that that person may end up in Dallas as well, which is great. We're happy with that. And we'll see more of that. And it's just in this industry, it's so much better to cooperate with people around. So this was kind of a long way around. We are completely independent of them. We are our Salt Lake group. Could there be a thing down the road? You never say no, but it's not anything that's in the process of happening. So
That's good.
we just, yeah.
We like having hours.
Yeah,
So
and we'll keep it. I mean, here's the thing: is no matter what happens, we'll make sure it stays an amazing show. That's the key. We've been lucky to be a part of such an amazing community. And I'll say this is, I would hate to be. I'm not anxious to not be a part of producing this event. Some people would be, looking at, yeah, I'm kind of done and want to move on. I'm not done. I love it so much.
You're not burned out yet.
I'm not at all. It has its up and downs. So I'll say that. We've been through some rough spots, but I love it. And to me, the energy comes from seeing fans have a good time. So when I get to walk the floor and I see people have their fan moments, I love that. That's just, to me, I live it vicariously through the fans. So if the fans are, they're crying, they have tears when they're meeting a celebrity they've been looking forward to meet, or looking up to a comic book artist that they've just idolized and they wanted to meet them, and just have a chance to ask some questions that would give them some guidance in their career or whatever. You hear those things when I watch them. I just I feel like I'm a part of it, and it means a lot to me. And so that's why I'm interested in keep going and keep the passion that we have, because our whole team, everybody that's involved with the convention, has huge passion for what we do. And it's something that hopefully it shows, because we want to make sure that everybody has the best event they can, the best experience that they can have.
And they have for the last 8 years. Wow, 8 years. That's incredible. This year's event, September 16 through 18, at the Salt Palace. How, real quick, how's the construction going on the Salt Palace?
Yeah, we lose that whole south foyer where people used to line up for the panels, so we're going to have to adjust that elsewhere. Other than that, and I guess we use that front area where we had the trolls, and we parked the car there in the past, and some different things where people would do photo ops out front. Right. That area is gone, but realistically, it's going to be fine. We're not losing a whole lot by having that happen.
Gonna have to rejigger the access a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, but once and we're going to get used to that, and then once the hotel's there, that actually is going to create a lot of new opportunities. There'll be a lot more rooms that can be used for the convention, maybe for some parties or different things like that. So it's going to be a real nice add. That manager, the agent just called me in between my last appointment, your meeting. He asked, he says, now do you guys have a hotel attached to the convention center? And he wanted to know, just because for some of his clients, he thought that would be a nice thing to have. And I mentioned to him that, well, we don't now, but in a couple of years, we're going to have it done. It's in construction. So I think it's going to help us. The conventions, it's going to give us more room to grow into.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. As are all the fans, as evidenced by the fan page on Facebook. But yeah, September 16 through 18, tickets can be bought at
FanXSaltLake.com.
And they're on sale now. Is there still a discount right now?
There's a discount. We're going to keep it. We have a press conference planned in a month and a half. After the press conference, we'll have the tickets stay on sale just a little bit longer. So we'll maintain the sale that we have going now for another probably 2 months, a month and a half to 2 months. So you want to get in and get them now while they're discounted for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have some announcements to guest announcements at that press conference.
We have some fun ones. Yeah, hopefully, like I mentioned, the actor, the doctor, or the companion. Hopefully, we'll make that announcement. Then we have some fun supernatural announcements and some other things. So
excellent.
yeah.
Well, Dan, I appreciate you taking the time. I know probably eating into your lunch hour right now, but I just want to let you know, keep doing what you're doing. I know the fans appreciate it. I personally am looking forward terribly to going to another event. My last one was actually last February in Chicago.
Oh wow, that's great.
I did make that one, and I'm surprised I didn't get sick.
Yes.
But maybe I did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, it's been a long year. It'll be nice to get to September and see everyone again. And I look forward to talking to you at the press conference and again at the event.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate everything you do. You're such a great support. You've helped us make this event what it is, and really, from my position, I really appreciate what you've done.
I thank you for that. I just try to do what I do. So, but again, we all thank you and the rest of the FanX team. So take it easy, everyone. Don't forget to buy your tickets. FanXSaltLake.com, September 16th through 18th. Thanks, and we will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark.